Now it's time for the women's compound bronze medal match as we get into the individual competition finals here in Mexico City 2007 Hyundai World Archery Championship. And first coming to the stage is Kristina Heigenhauser. We just saw her shoot, so she's about as warmed up as you could possibly be.
Right, yeah, I don't even know if she would have stepped back and fired a few practice arrows or just got back in the tunnel and got ready to come out again.
Target number 2 is going to be Sarah Sonnichsen from Denmark. And Sarah had her way into this competition. She knocked off Toya Ellison in the quarter finals. And then getting into this bronze medal match, it was Sonnichsen, who we just saw shoot, who was able to defeat her to knock her to the bronze medal competition. All right, Steve, so contrary to what we saw in mixed teams competition, give us the format of how we shoot individual matches.
So an individual match on the compound side is 15 arrows. They're going to shoot an end of 3. An end is basically a round. So they're going to shoot 5 ends of 3 arrows, 150 points possible, and a high score takes it.
If we have a tie, we go to a 1-arrow shoot-off, and that 1-arrow shoot-off is determined by closest to the middle. Just coming off of her match literally moments ago. First up, Kristina Heigenhauser.
High 9.
High 9 for her, which was actually the tendency she started shooting right at the end of that match. Here's supersonic Sarah Sonnichsen. She starts off with a nice solid 10.
Yep. And both these archers shoot that command style that we had talked about earlier, where they're telling the release when to go. They're not waiting on any surprise shot. So it can be, when you're shooting that well, you can really get on a roll and just keep putting them in the 10, but when it goes bad, it often goes very bad.
Another great shot from Sarah Sonnichsen. Also looking at her style, Steve. Look at Kristina and how she has an extended arm. Almost looks like the elbow's getting close to lock as she now comes back with a 10. Sarah has a nice bend in her elbow. Is that just a style preference, maybe the way you learned?
Yeah, just preference. I like to go arm extended, bone on bone. I think it's the most stable, but everybody does it their own way. Not going to argue with Sonnichsen's style. She's #1 in the world.
She certainly is. So a 10-10-9 for Sarah Sonnichsen.
And you'll notice how fast these two are shooting.
Yeah.
That can be, when you have 20 seconds per shot. So as soon as you fire your arrow, your opponent's clock starts. And as fast as these two girls shoot, they got to load an arrow and be ready to go on the next one.
Sonnichsen in Rome, Hyundai Archery World Cup final, won that in September. Won Berlin in August, Antalya in June. I mean, just the wins have just been piling up for the 22-year-old. A lot of medals hanging up on the wall for Sarah Sonnichsen. Heigenhauser, as we talked about, Steve, you mentioned coming back from cancer, her second tournament back. Now lines up for the shot. 28-29, and a solid 10 for the German. I noticed that after watching Sarah most of the year, it seems like she's maybe been working on that release.
Didn't
didn't seem as punchy. Oof.
She's doing a little, is that an 8 or a 9?
It looked like an 8 to me, but 8-9 liner. We'll see. They're calling it a 9. We'll have to see when they.
Yeah, she's doing a little better job of getting the thumb around the barrel before she sends it away. There was times in the past it was all one motion to wrap around the barrel and punch it all at the same time.
Yeah, you would actually see daylight between her thumb and the barrel, and then just the contact.
She'd just grab it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like she's been hard at work. You can see getting that thumb activated onto that barrel. A little stutter. Interesting.
Yeah. Put it in the 10.
Works for her, it works for her. It's all that matters. And there's no debating #1 in the world, Sarah Sonnichsen. 10-10-10, perfect score, a perfect 30. Now, Steve, when you get to this level, this competition, one of the interesting things that we've seen in the past is elimination rounds when you're on the field and you're just going through the field. When you get here, scores tend to be a little bit lower.
Target number 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's
10, 10, 10.
a lot of pressure on the line, and on the field, you're not shooting under a 20-second clock, so there's no rush. If you have a bad shot going, you can let it down, start over. That'll save you some points here and there, whereas out here, that isn't an option. You got to get it off, and sometimes that means it's not going to be as much as you wanted, but try to limit the damage in that scenario. And just the pressure of the moment, you know, everybody's watching and you're shooting for something now, so it makes a difference.
So when you're doing elimination rounds, before we get to this point, if you're trying to get to this point, is it a 2-minute clock or is it?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you're on a 2-minute clock for 3 arrows.
So they throw a lot at you, World Archery does. When you get to this level and you're shooting for a bronze, silver, or gold medal, there's a lot of things that end up being a little bit different, huh? The clock,
Correct.
the atmosphere, shooting from a stage.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of shooters who are really good qualifiers. You see shooters who are good match shooters, and you see shooters who are very good in finals matches. And you see some who are good in all 3, too.
Kristina needed that 10. Again, cumulative scoring here. Sarah is wearing out that 10 in this match. Only 1-9 so far for Sonnichsen.
If you look at the clock as it counts down next to the shooters' names, I mean, they're rarely getting to 14 seconds. So they're firing these arrows in 5-6 seconds. Here's one that's going 7 seconds. But these shooters are turning around pretty quick.
10-9 liner for Sonnichsen. Right at 14 seconds, a 9. Drop that one a little low.
I'm going to say that in the gold match, you're going to see a lot of shots being fired with 8, 9, and 10 seconds remaining on the clock. It's going to be a lot different.
Okay. Sonnichsen with a little flinch there, answering the 9 thrown by Kristina Heigenhauser. So Sarah Sonnichsen. We'll have to wait for the judges. There's no asterisks on those shots necessarily, but things that we look at and think, we'll see for sure once the judges get down there.
Yeah, and when it comes to scoring, you know, we've talked about the asterisk next to the number. The arrow only has to touch the line. Doesn't have to break through it, just touch it. And oftentimes, based on how the paper breaks when the arrow goes in, it can be really hard to tell until you get up close. And even then, sometimes you need a little pocket microscope to really see what's happening at the target.
Yeah. So Kristina Heigenhauser, her score confirmed at a 29, and confirmed for Sarah Sonnichsen as well. So the lead remains at 2 points with 2 ends to go. And keep in mind, this is archery. Anything can happen. A 2-point lead is not a certainty of how this match is going to end, especially with the amount of arrows that we have left. What are some of the craziest things you've seen?
I would say, you know, a miss in a situation like this. Someone just flat out misses the target and gives up 10 points in a hurry.
That could definitely swing things in a different direction. So behind by 2. Kristina will shoot first. Good look at that windsock. What's the wind doing? Great shot, great execution. Doing everything she needs to stay in it. High 10 for Sarah Sonnichsen. Looked like for a moment there, her holding arm looked like it was blown around just a smidge.
Yeah, kind of felt a little breeze come through here as well.
See the flag way up top in the background there. Totally different down here, though. It's so shielded. Yeah,
and Kristina's putting the pressure on her, you know, putting 10s down. But so far, Sarah's answered them all.
Oh,
9.
And when Kristina released that bow, you could see she actually just turned it over to the left, trying to put a little English on it. That's more of a reaction, I think, from the eye, isn't it? Oh, okay, so we're going to stay at 115 to 117 heading into this final end.
Yeah, nothing gained, nothing lost, but as a compound competitor, I feel pretty good about having a 2-point lead going into the final end. You know, if you can keep them in the gold and shoot 110, it's over.
Target number 2, X109.
Well, scratch that. You need 2 10s out of that. Math is hard.
Yeah, I know, Matt. I was like, well, that would send you to a shoot-off, and then you got the pressure of the closest arrow, but yeah, I got you. So two 10s. 2 10s for Sarah Sonnichsen is going to do it. But make no mistake, with a 2-point lead in this competition, heartbeats are starting to elevate. Even for bronze, who's going to be able to stand on the podium? Can Heigenhauser rip off a perfect 30 and really put the pressure on Sarah Sonnichsen? We're getting ready to find out. It's the first one to shoot. Little fist pump from her coach, Mark Damsbo. Once on the line, the shooters can knock up the arrows and attach the release. Is that right, or they can't attach the release when they're
They can attach the release. They just can't lift the bow until their clock is started.
What a shot from Kristina Heigenhauser. Sarah Sonnichsen, 9.
Yep, getting some action now.
Here's the pressure in this final end. Oh, she does it. Kristina Heigenhauser, another solid X. Sarah knows she gave a point away. Will it affect her? It does. Wow.
Dead heat now.
Dead heat, 135 to 135. They're saying it's a 9 asterisk, but Steve, it looked to us like it was a solid
close,
9.
yeah.
Oh, and there it is. So Kristina Heigenhauser at this point, we're going to a shoot-off no matter what, or she's gonna win it.
Yep, she cannot lose.
Oh, unbelievable, as Sarah Sonnichsen throws a 9.
Oh, all 3 out the left side.
Wow. We said it wasn't over till it's over, Steve.
No.
In a 2-point lead, you said you'd be comfortable. But now, I mean, we kind of saw what we saw, but the 9 asterisks, we're going to have to wait on it. Are we going to a shoot-off, or is it over?
Oh, it's over. I'll just be the spoiler.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're all out, and for Kristina, they're all in.
Lesson learned, folks. If you're watching, you're never out of it till you're out of it, till it's over.
No.
What an end by Kristina Heigenhauser to take bronze here in Mexico City with an XX10. And the 130 of the match for her comes in the final end. What a storybook ending to her outdoor season. Kristina Heigenhauser will stand on the podium and represent Germany with the bronze medal.
Wow. We were just talking about, you know, before the match started, there hadn't been really any barn burners, but we got one there.
We certainly did. And it's the barn only started burning the last end. That's how you,
man.
You just got to stay in it. You got to stay in it and put the pressure on. And what a group. What a group from Sarah Sonnichsen. Just
yeah,
not in the right
it's all
spot.
out the left. I don't know if she spun the side or not, or, you know, she might have felt like, hey, just a matter of wind pushing it. I don't know, hard to say, but yeah,
it is what it is, right?
She's got to, you know, for one archer, it's total elation. For another, feel like a bit of defeat.
Yeah, heartbreaks on both sides, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's, you know, you're looking at Kristina Heigenhauser and you're thinking, 2 points disadvantage going into that final end with the world #1.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden it just turns the table. But
well, I've said before, it's hardest to close the match than it is to come from behind.
very true.